Okay, this is Option 1 Solar. My name is James. I'm out here with Steve, one of our favorite customers. So, Steve, I wanted to come out here and ask you a few questions. So, thanks for inviting me into your home.
Well, it's my pleasure. I thought you guys did an amazing job for me, and I want to, help you guys in any way I can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You have a beautiful home, by the way.
Thank you.
So, we'd like to start by introducing you to our audience. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm retired now. I was a design engineer for Rockwell for 20 years, and I taught high school AP physics and math, and I taught computer science at the community college out here, but I'm fully retired now, just working on various home improvement projects and enjoying my dogs.
Yeah, you showed me some of your home improvement projects out here. They're pretty amazing. The solar shower you have over there and the cover you have for your pool and the way you stack your wood, everything seems very well organized, and I gotta admit, it's a great house to live in.
Well, thank you. That's quite a compliment. It's fun. Some people like French poetry. Some people like ball games or poker. And what I like is customizing things. That's what gets it there for me. I love to customize things.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that you also worked with Rockwell, because our founder worked there too back in the 1970s working on the Apollo projects. Did you happen to work on any of the Apollo projects?
No, I didn't hire into Rockwell until the 80s. So I was past all that moon stuff. But my dad was a rocket scientist and worked for various aerospace firms, and he certainly worked on Apollo and to name a bunch of other things.
So, how did you become interested in solar?
Well, I think I've been interested in solar for a long time. I had people telling me, oh, don't do it. The technology changes. 2 years from now, they'll be smaller, they'll be better. But if you use that kind of thinking, you'll live your whole life and never get a cell phone.
Yeah.
Because at some point you have to enter the technology, and those, I think they're called REC panels that you use.
Yes, the REC Alpha.
They're huge. They're 400 watts. They each have their own microinverter. I felt when I saw what you had that the technology was ripe enough for me to take the plunge finally.
Yeah, it keeps getting better every year, but right now it's really, really good. Did you get a battery with your system?
I thought about the backup system. In fact, it's funny you bring that up. That's part of the way that I chose you.
Oh, really?
I knew that you were a licensed installer for the Tesla Powerwall.
Okay, yeah.
And I've always thought of Tesla as a cutting edge, high-tech company.
Right.
And I saw you as one of their licensed installers, and that's what got the whole ball rolling for me in the direction of Option 1 Solar.
Right. Okay. Well, speaking on that, I heard you started with another solar company. What made you decide to go with us?
That is true. I was with I don't want to name any names here, but
yeah,
they were one of those big McPanel companies, nationwide, huge, that you can get their pamphlets being handed out in your favorite membership store, which will remain
those big old grocery stores.
Nameless.
Yeah.
And I got him here, and he did some preliminary layouts for me, and I saw that he had panels on some of the east roofs and the west roofs, and I asked him, isn't the main solar energy on the southern facing roof if you've got it?
Yeah, that's true.
They told me your roof is too complicated, your southern roof, those gables you have, it's cutting up the roof into triangular areas, it's just too difficult to work with. We need to put panels on these other areas, but I can show you exactly what we can get you if you just sign this contract, and then I'll get my placement guy out here, and then we can tell you exactly what we can do. He wanted me to sign the contract before
the design was done?
Before they had done the design and the placement that I approved of. And I said, that's not going to happen, and I knew I needed to start looking and find someone else.
Well, I'm glad we could. How did our design work out for you?
Well, I told them what I had in mind about using the triangular areas on that roof in a kind of an artistic way of trying to fill the triangles and match the symmetry of the house. And right off the bat, your guy told me, yeah, I think we can do that. We can't, but if we do it transverse, we get them on their sides. Let me get to work on this. And the next day he fired me off a layout scheme, and I said, yes, that's exactly the type of thing that I had in mind, you know, perfect. But I couldn't get it from the other guy, that the Acme salesman.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy gave me the vibe that 6 months ago he was probably selling timeshares in Boca Raton. He really didn't seem to understand much about solar energy.
Yeah.
But the option one guy knew exactly what I wanted, and he gave me the very first placement he gave me, I thought was gold.
Okay, well that's good to know. How did the rest of the process feel with us?
I felt like I was getting to know people on a first name basis. It's been a few weeks now, and at my age, the names kind of go in and out, but I still remember some of them.
Yeah.
All very friendly, good communication. They told me when I needed to have my payments and when I needed to schedule for the work. And
right.
And what I really loved about what they did is the business with the town of Yucca Valley.
Okay.
I didn't have to do anything. I never once had to pick up the phone and call and say I need an inspection or something approved or
right.
sign a form. You guys did all of that, and you sent me status emails saying, hey, we got this approved, and I didn't have to do any of it, and I really loved that.
Great. I'm glad you were well informed about the entire process. So what do you like about the solar panels you have now?
Well, first of all, the way they look.
Uh-huh.
If you look at the way they mold into my southern roof, you know, a gable. This is a gable up here.
Yeah.
It's a place where the roof comes up to a peak.
Okay. Yeah.
And it divides. When gables come out of a south-facing roof, it creates little west-east angles.
I see.
And the only slopes left on the south-facing roof are triangular shaped.
Right.
And it makes for an awkward placement of panels unless you
know what you're doing.
Unless you do think like Steve Jobs and you're shooting for form and function and not just function alone.
Right.
Because it looks like a necklace on a supermodel's neck, the way they fitted those panels into the triangles on the roof. You'll have to show them a picture of that so they can see what I'm talking about.
A beautiful home like this deserves beautiful panel design. You know what I mean?
I think it's the prettiest solar install I've ever seen in this city.
Oh, that's quite a...
But I may be biased.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So how do you feel about Option One Solar as a company altogether?
Well, so far, everyone has been speedy. Mm-hmm. Everything they've told me was accurate. They've explained everything to me. They told me how to use this app and how to get it installed on my phone, and it was a snap. And I look at it almost every day because I'm still in the novelty phase of my new, you know, being a retired engineer.
Yeah.
The solar is kind of like a new toy for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm excited to see all the kilowatt hours that I'm exporting to the grid every day.
Right.
That puts a big smile on my face, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's funny how beautiful a simple little graph can be when you check it every day. Would you recommend us to your friends and family?
I absolutely would.
Okay.
Don't go the McPanel route.
Yeah.
And get a condo timeshare salesman selling you solar panels. Get someone who knows what they're doing. I'm sure there's others out there. You know, I don't want to put, you know, any one other company down, but I know you guys, and I know you guys know what you're doing.
Thank you. Speaking about that, is there anything else we could have done any better?
Well, honestly, I can't think about figuring out how to get the city to speed up their approval.
Yeah, we just have to invent a time machine. That'll be...
Figuring out how to get Edison, but those things happen pretty quickly. I was impressed.
Okay.
I got this installed, I think it was near the last few months in April, and by the 5th of May, I already had my permit to operate from SoCal Edison saying you are now allowed to generate and export energy to the grid.
Yeah.
So it all happened within a matter of a couple of weeks.
That's pretty fast.
I thought so.
Do you have any questions for me?
Well, just other than keep me posted on the prices of these backup battery systems.
For sure.
I'm waiting for something to get cheaper and better in the future. I feel like I'm not personally ready to take that jump into the battery backup system yet. But it's a noble thing because everyone likes the idea of being off the grid.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait a little longer.
Okay, well there is a new technology called lithium iron phosphate. I don't know if you're familiar with that. We have a new brand of battery that we're going to put out. It's called the Power Baron. So this technology is non-toxic. So if for some reason it gets punctured somehow, It won't turn into some acid that explodes and burns up your house. It'll just leak out and it'll be fine.
Well, that sounds like a plus.
Yeah, and it's supposed to last twice as long. It has a 25-year warranty and everything. So I don't know, maybe in the future you might want to get a power bearing for your home.
Well, I will look into that as the technology matures.
Right on.
I'll try to keep my eye on it.
All right, well, thank you for having me out here. It was a pleasure.
Hey, it was a pleasure. I'm glad you guys could come on down.
All right.